Okay, it is March 31st, last day of the month. Um, I do know, I think most of you guys have gotten your orders in that are doing orders today, but they are having trouble with the system. I do not have my order in yet, and I'm hoping I don't have trouble. They're ha really having trouble with agreements more than I think orders, but anyway, so hopefully anybody else that wants to order tonight will be okay. I noticed some people got theirs in today and it was fine, so hopefully it's all good. All right, I will say a really quick prayer for us and then we'll get started. We have just we're going to have several of us share this evening about some career conference aha moments and things like that. So it should be kind of good. So, all right, let me just pray. Lord, I just thank you for this day, and I thank you for this group of women, and that we can join together each week just to support each other, help each other, be there for each other. And I thank you for that community and just for our whole unit. And Lord, we just thank you that Dawn and Jody and I did have the opportunity to attend a career conference and learn different things from different speakers. And we're just grateful for that opportunity and that you brought Jody and I safely home in the dark, in the wind, and all the things. And Lord, I just pray for those in our unit that have illnesses and those that are just struggling with things. Lord, I just ask that you be with them and guide them and just help us to be a light for them. And just guide us tonight as we try to help each other learn more and inspire each other. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, let's see. Doesn't look like we have anyone else getting on. Before we get started, I forgot to look. Did anyone turn in accomplishment sheets? Does anyone want to share their cells for the week? Do you know what they are?
Mine weren't that high, but I had like an upsell opportunity. I had my friend here and she
Oh,
was going to buy one color product and she ended up going home with four products in total. So
that's always good.
pretty happy about that.
Yeah. I know Alexandra got a My Shop order last week. Yeah. Did you know who it was?
I have no clue.
Okay.
Don't
So
know.
you know that happens with this new My Shop thing, but that's always a nice surprise when you get one of those. So that's good. I apologize. I don't feel as prepared as I should, and I don't remember how much I sold this week, but I was very excited. I had done a facial last week on a young girl, and she is actually under the care of a dermatologist for her skin, and so she let me do a little skincare, but she's really never used Mary Kay. And so she said, I just cannot find a foundation that works for me. Everything gives me cystic acne. I'm cleaning my face with all this stuff that the dermatologist is telling me to clean it with, but I just struggle. So we tried some foundation. It looked amazing on her. And I gave her some extra samples to try. And so she called me last night and said, this is fabulous. This is the only foundation I've ever used that hasn't bothered me. So she bought the foundation, the concealer, and the powder. And she bought the lipstick we tried. So I was happy about that. I mean, I want to get her on skincare, but she's on a lot of things from the dermatologist. So but this is a good start because it was a positive experience with Mary Kay, and so I was grateful that she came back and got that at least, and that she had such a good experience with the foundation because foundation is a big deal. So that's always good. So does anyone want to share anything good that's happened this week, like Mary Kay or otherwise, that you just want to talk about that's been great? No, nobody's had anything great.
All right. My physical therapy for my old
Oh.
hip, it's been working, and I get to have 8 more sessions of physical therapy. So yay me.
Oh, good. I know
I
you
was
were
able,
trying to do that.
yep, and I was able to go to the park and walk for 45 minutes yesterday, which hasn't happened in a while. So
Yay, that is very
yeah.
good news. And I know Jody's physical therapy is going better, right? It's slow and steady, but it's good. I mean, she did good traveling because that was the first trip she's taken since all of this. And so, sometimes physical therapy is just slow going, but it's working. So that's good. That's good. Um, I got to see my daughter when we were at career conference. Jody let her stay with us one night, and that was fun. She went and got me and Jody dinner. So that she went and walked over and got it. So when we were done with our meeting, we could have dinner. So that was fun. I always like to get to see her. And we made it. I mean, the wind was what y'all, it was 99 degrees in Amarillo on Thursday. And then during the night before we were going to leave, we could hear the wind, like 60-mile-per-hour wind. And so when Jody and I left Amarillo, 60-mile-per-hour wind, and it was like 40 something degrees. Like it was 99 the day before, and it was 44. So we drove to Dallas and the wind, but it was kind of a crosswind, I think. So it wasn't too bad. And then it was only like in the 50s in Dallas, which that's really cool for them while we were there. And then we had no trouble coming home in terms of like weather or anything, which was I was grateful for. Just a little construction, but no weather because they're getting some rain and potential hail right where we went through last. So I'm grateful that we didn't have that then. So that was a good thing for sure. So I did ask Jody and Dawn to share some things they learned from their career conferences. We went different weeks in different places. Um, and so we're going to share some of the stuff we learned. And Jody, do you mind going first and just kind of sharing some of your aha moments from career conference, just how you felt about it and maybe
Yeah,
something you can share?
not a problem. So, sorry. Here, let me get situated so you can see my face. I I wasn't. I knew that I needed to get to a Mary Kay function, and I knew that I needed to be surrounded by the positive and the all of this stuff. So this is just a little funny story going into this, and I'll make it real quick. So Thursday night, I'm sitting in, it was 90 something degrees, 99, whatever it was. So I'm standing in line at TJ Maxx to check out, and there wasn't very many people there. And this woman had a little girl in her basket, and she said, "Mommy, that woman needs to smile more." Sorry. She was talking about me. She was looking like deadhead looking at me. "Mommy, that woman needs to smile more." And I knew, I figured out she was talking about me, and I was like, oh. And I kind of started laughing, and her mom said, yeah, she said, they'll say anything. And I was like, they tell the truth. That's what they do. They tell the truth. And I said, I am so sorry. You are absolutely right. I need to smile more. So I just needed to be around the positiveness and all of that, and to smile more. And I was telling Angela that on the way down too. I was like, I need to smile more. So the trainers were really good. The whole weekend, or the whole 24 hours, was just really, really good. I hadn't had good speakers and trainers in the Red Jacket training in probably the last few events. And they were just spot on. Either it was, I was ready to listen and absorb the information. A couple of things that were said, and of course, in a lot of times it's the same thing said over and over. But one said, your emotions do not have words. Take the spotlight off of you and put the spotlight on your customer or on your prospective team member. Because when we have the spotlight on us and all of our emotions are going, we have no words because the emotions have taken over. So we have to take that off of us and put that back on our on whoever we're talking to, and focus on that. The other aha moment that I had was Waverly Wismer, and I don't know if you all know her. She is Kimberly Cope, Senior National Sales Director, because she just offsprung another national. And Waverly is actually on her way, and she's already, if she hasn't already hit 1 million, she is like very, very close for the year. She was the only director that was even on target for $1 million. Everybody else was on target for 650 and less. But she, you will hear about Waverly, and then you won't hear about her, and then you'll hear about her, and then you won't hear about her. So she has ups and downs in this business. And her thing was, you show up for everything. And no matter if you are on stage and you're getting all of the recognition or you're being the picture taker, there's a purpose in that. And you have to find it. And that's what I found from her. I also found that I have to get my why back in place. I have to figure out what my why is again and what is my passion to keep me driving. So those are the things I came up with.
So we can always say, you need to smile more to every one of us, like to
Yeah.
ourselves.
Smile. I was in deep thought. I was like in serious deep thought, and I had RBF really bad because I could feel it. But I was stressed. I was trying to figure out what all I needed to do. I had to pack. I had to do this. I had to work late. I had PT. I had physical therapy because I had physical therapy on Tuesday and Thursday, and so it was just all the things had come together. I worked, and I still had to work. So I had to come home. I actually worked until I looked at my time clock. It was 9:45. So I came home, did all the things, and then worked until 9. Worked another 2 hours. So for her to say that, it brought me back to the fact that, oh, and then here's another here's another throat punch on that. So when I was checking out, the checker said, "Yeah, that saying, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, what saying?" And she said, if you see somebody that's not smiling, give them yours. I was like, oh, okay. So
yeah, they were reminding you for sure. So yeah, yay, good. We thought, yeah, it was good. We thought there was more people there than there was last year at our particular one. I can't remember how many were there, but it was some new nationals that our top 4 nationals, 3 out of our 4 were Spanish speaking. And so I knew the number 1, but the other 2 I didn't know as well. But then Kimberly Copeland was our number 2 national. And so her speech was quite good. And then Waverly was number 1 director. And then it was a Spanish speaking director, number 2, that was someone new that I didn't know. And then number 3 was Valerie Lucero, which we mostly know her from Ruby, but I can't remember who all's in Sapphire now that, because we haven't had a seminar yet with just our Sapphire people yet. So I'm kind of still like, are they in Sapphire or, are they in Ruby when we had them before? But anyway, it was good. I really thought the way they're doing career conference now is a little bit different. And so you come in and do your classes, like your individual classes from 4 to 7 on the first evening. And then the next day is more of the going across the stage and from the stage. And I thought Mary Kay did a great job of having a balance of, recognition and training. I thought that was really good. I want to do some more research, and I don't know if any of you all have seen this, but Julia Mundy Garner was one of our speakers. I had all national speakers the day that I had my director training. They were all nationals. Well, I say that Pam Garner was not, but she's about to be a national. So Julia Mundy Garner was talking about the vision book that she's created or she's trained on. And I'm trying to find training on exactly what it is. I mean, I could come up with a vision book for us, but I was wanting to get like her training because she was talking about if you create your vision book, which I'll be honest with y'all, I've done like a vision board before and I put it up and then I just kind of look at it and I don't really focus on it. But she was talking about making a book where you really put your vision out for the year. And then they found that if you spend 10 minutes with it in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening with it, like going back and looking at it, because I think that's the issue I have when I create a vision board or anything like that. I don't go back and really sit with it. She said that if you get with it 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night, that they found that 85% of what's in that vision book happens in the next year. So I thought that was really interesting. So I'm going to do some more research and see if I can find how they actually created their vision book. And, it hasn't been my strength in the past, but I thought it might be good. It might be something. And to consider, we are in our final 4 months of the seminar year, but we're really about 100 days away to the end of the seminar year. So, looking at what do we want to do these last 3 months? Personally, what do you want to do these last 3 months? And if you're wanting to go to seminar, I would say part of what you want to do these last 3 months is make the money that you need so that you can pay for seminar without having to put anything on a credit card or anything. She also talked about putting like Bible verses throughout your house. I thought, I just haven't done a lot of vision work in a while. And so I felt like that is something important, and maybe we can kind of going forward share our vision a little bit more and try to consider in these last 100 days, in these last 3 months, just thinking bigger than maybe we've thought all year. Like, was there something we really wanted to do this year that we haven't done? Was there something that's on your heart that you're like, I really would like to do this? Like, is that something you could commit yourself to for the next 3 months and just see what happens? Just see, what happens and where you land in these last 3 months. And then I also want to kind of come up with, and we don't all have to use the same thing, but I also wanted to come up with one of the things that Pam Garner talked about, because they are building a national area, is they kind of had a script, which, sometimes scripts can be too scripty, so you got to kind of have to make it your own. But she said we did kind of come up with, how are we asking people to consider the opportunity? Instead of just saying, will you watch this video and consider Mary Kay, or do you want to do Mary Kay, or, like kind of what is it we're trying to build? And, for your own personal team, what is it you're trying to build? What are we trying to build as a unit? And what could we say about that? And then when you say those things over and over, when you're talking to people about it, it kind of becomes ingrained in yourself, and you kind of believe it a little bit more about what you're building for yourself. So if, adding people to your team is important to you, having what you tell people you're building is really important. And so I'm going to kind of sit with that a little bit and see what I want to do about that. And then, just asking God about what qualities he wants and the women that you want to bring onto your team if you're wanting to recruit people. And I really did feel like I told Jody that one of the things I heard for me as a director is just having more conversations with people. I tend to text with y'all a lot, and trying to spend more time with you guys and other people in our unit, more just in personal conversations. We get busy, and so we have a tendency just to want to text each other, but just having a quick conversation, which with most of y'all, I do talk to you guys some, but, I talked to 2 consultants today, one of which has been in Mary Kay a long time, because she was in my original unit before she was a recruit of Laura's, but she was in my unit before Laura was even a director. And then Laura became a director, so she was in Laura's unit. And then now she's back in my unit. So she's been around for a long time. So I had a conversation with her today, though, because she's really personal use. And this is what I found out. She doesn't even know what order to do her products in, or what products she should be using. And so, we have people, recruits on our team, that are kind of personal use. And, they're not even sure, because Mary Kay's added some products, they've changed some products, and they're not on meeting. So they're not getting like product knowledge and hearing all that. So that was a good conversation. So that really helped her with what she should order. And then it kind of made me think too, that all of us as consultants, one of the things that Pam Garner talked about was, really, are we all using all the products that we should be using? Do we love all the products that we have? And I mentioned this to Jody a little bit when we were going, but, Heather came up with her Boost Camp. And I think you guys all have this, but I can send it to you if you don't have it. But this is definitely a good start. If we're a consultant, we should be using, like, this is her Boost Camp if you are on the Miracle set. She also has a boost camp picture I'll show you in a minute if you were on the repair set. And so, and I think Heather posted the other day a picture of herself from, I don't know, 12 years ago or something. And then she posted what her current picture looks like. And she said a lot of that had to do with being very consistent with my skincare. And so, this is and I had a couple of facials in February with some customers that have been my customers for a long time. So they are on a lot of products, but they have a refacial every year in their birthday month. And so I printed this off for them and they wanted to take it home and hang it up. And they wanted, like any products they weren't already using, they wanted to add those products going forward. So, some people are like, when I talked to that consultant today, she was like, well, I don't want it too complicated. I can't have too many steps. And so for some people, this is too many steps. But what we did say is we went through it and said, okay, you do need something to exfoliate. Like you need to exfoliate your skin. So you got to have a cleanser. You got to have an exfoliator. You probably need one serum at least, and you need a moisturizer. So at least that, right? So you can simplify it for your customer, but this is definitely a good start. It's interesting to me that customers are like, they really want their skin better, and maybe that's even us, but then we're not willing to do this stuff for our skin, but we've got customers that are going to spas or whatever and doing really intense treatments, but really they could be using this on a regular basis and their skin would look so much better. So I think it's just kind of interesting how that is. I'll show you guys the one for repair. And she's got two, like she has one that doesn't have this hydrating mask in there, I think. So if you just wanted to use this, but this is a good, as consultants, we probably do want to be using all of this. And then one of the things I heard at career conference is, if you're using these products faithfully and then someone says, well, gosh, your skin looks really good, you can always send them to your MyShop account and say, well, this is what I use. And you can go to MyShop account and order it, or you can sit down with them and get them on those products if you have those products in stock. So just a reminder that as consultants, we are blessed to be able to get these products 50% off. And we need to be using these products to show people how to use them and how beneficial they are. And when we're consistent with our skincare, we're going to get more, people going, oh, what are you using and which products are you using on your face? So this is, this is a lot of steps. So you could customize it for your customer if they didn't want to do all those, but it's definitely, try it for a couple weeks and see the difference in your skin, and see how that is. So, okay, a couple other things I wanted to share. I know, and I don't know if Dawn will talk about this either, but one of the things they did from the stage is talk about the new foundations that are coming. They didn't give us a ton of details about the actual foundations, a little bit. They said it's going to be 36 shades, which is more shades than we have now. It's an improved formula, but it still has the 3D complex. It's a coverage upgrade, which means it's going to cover better. And there's a packaging refresh, so it looks prettier. And, they said you can tell customers that, for companies to stay relevant, then we have to have an upgrade every 3 to 5 years in things like skincare and foundations. And so they did also talk a little bit about, how, and I don't know for you guys that are here, how many foundations you have in stock, that you need to move. I still have quite a few, and I've been trying not to order foundations, but that's just a product I've always carried on hand because that was one thing I didn't want people to be out of, because you don't want to be out of your foundation. So, so one of the suggestions she said was even this month, as a way to get people in front of you, you can ask them, have you ever been professionally matched for foundation? And see what they say. And then match them with our current foundation, get them on the current foundation and, move that product. And then tell them, though, that once they've used that up and they come back and we are on the new foundation, you give them a $10 gift certificate or something that they can use to get rematched, and you get them in front of you again. So you're selling your current stock, but then you're also getting them booked to come back, in a couple of months or 3 months with the new foundation. So that is just one way, of trying to get in front of people, and then reminding people that 20% of people are walking around in the wrong shade. And so, we can help them not be in the wrong shade. So I think that's important. I will not have the new product yet. I do not have it the beginning of April, but I'm supposed to get a buzz kit sometime in April. And I don't know exactly what I'm getting in that buzz kit with the new foundations. But by the first week of May, when we have our first meeting in May, I should be able to have seen it, have some samples. We'll have tried it. So I'll have more with that. And I believe starting April 1st, the company is going to put information about the foundations on Mary Kay and Touch. And I believe that's for everybody, not just for directors, but for everybody. You guys will have more information. So that's tomorrow. We should have more details about it to kind of help us, because that's a big deal. But I feel like it's great because everybody can get in front of you. Everybody that's buying foundation from you can get in front of you so that you can sit down and do, a foundation match with them. So I thought that was good. And then Kimberly Copeland was probably my favorite speaker. One of her things was to stay humble and to stay hungry. I think Jody caught that too, staying humble and staying hungry. And that their area is just really booming. I mean, like she offsprung Missy O'Neill, and Missy O'Neill has like 50 directors. And so she's gonna, and I don't remember what division they're in. I don't think they're in Sapphire. I'll have to look that up because I have that list, because Missy will debut at Seminar. So it'd be fun if they are in Sapphire, but for some reason I feel like they're not. I think they're in Emerald, but they are really doing great. And now Waverly is going to hit 1 million. And so Kimberly's area is is really doing fantastic. So that's kind of fun to see that. So, and I really liked Waverly too. I've never heard her speak. And, she's young. Like she and my daughter are the same age. They graduated high school the same year. And so she's done a lot as a young person. And of course, having a mom and a grandma as a national, they taught her a lot, but she doesn't her personality is different than her mom, and she does things different than her mom does. Like she's the one that came up with the whole girls around the living room, Waverly way. That wasn't her mom that did that. That was her that came up with that way of doing. And when Jody and I have done those style of parties where they're not even actually putting anything on their face, we're just having snacks, they're sitting around us in the living room and we're talking about the different products, we have sold a lot every time we've done it. Every time we've done it, we've sold a lot. So it is a way to do it, and you don't have to have all of the samples and things. Now we do have like before and after pictures that we've had, printed, and we have the products there for them to try on their hand or whatever, but they don't even try it on their face. And that's how she does like all of her parties. I like kind of do a variety of things, but anyway, I thought it was good. I was re-inspired and want us all to just be excited about the last 3 months, whatever it is for you. So, whatever you feel like you want to do going forward, what can you do these last 3 months that'll kind of set the stage? Because whatever we do now kind of filters into the new year, so it's harder to start the new year from a stopped position. But if you've already got momentum and you're already doing something, and I have found that April, May, and June are just a great time to sell Mary Kay. Like the weather is getting better. It is lighter, longer in the evening. It's not as cold. That tends to be a great quarter for us, for all of us. So you might as well take advantage of it right now while it's a good time. So, okay, Dawn, would you like to kind of share
I
what
do.
you got?
I'm still, as I looked back at my notes, still pretty jazzed up about the experience 2 weekends ago. So at first, I just want to tell you all who the 4 trainers and speakers were for my classes and just the topic of what they talked about, because I have notes. And so if anybody wanted to reach out to me directly to then go over all the detailed notes from my trainers, I would be happy to share what I did or what I wrote down. So the first speaker on day one her name was Jessica Schultz, and her topic was selling with confidence. Okay. The second speaker was Susie Moeller, and she was talking to us about how to engage and activate new consultants. Then we had Beverly Delp. She's been in Mary Kay for 27 years. She talked all about powering up your systems, and her systems referenced were your organization system, your time management system, your booking system, and your presentation systems. Loved what she trained on. And the last one was Connie Brinker, and her main topic was transforming how you lead. So, okay. But then one of the other speakers from day 2 that I did a lot of recording, these are where all my fun notes are going to come from tonight. Her name was Amanda Wright. Her overall speech tied into encouragement. She's been in Mary Kay for 20 years. And with this one, I want to let you know that my voice recording, it's 15 minutes long. And I sent it to myself in Facebook Messenger, and it wasn't too big. So if you get really excited about what I'm going to share, I could actually forward you her speech. The first 5 minutes of it is not what you're going to hear from me. It was more like introductory, a little bit of her history, thanking her unit and stuff like that, right? So, let me just start reading all of my notes. She starts off by talking about what we offer is never more needed and desired than ever before. She asked AI to describe to her today's modern female consumer. And this is there's a lot of things that AI came back and basically gave her like 3-4 pages of notes. And I found this to be so interesting. Okay, so the modern female consumer expects customization, is turned off by generic marketing. She's value conscious, but is not afraid to spend more for quality. She reads digital first for browsing and reviews, but still likes a try before you buy in-person experience. She wants an easy exchange process and demands authenticity, transparency, and the highest of ethics. The modern day female consumer also wants to support sustainability and clean ingredients, as well as fair labor. Beauty is now defined as wellness plus confidence, not looking pretty. Let me say that again. The modern day woman sees beauty as wellness plus confidence, not looking pretty. She links her skin to her hormones, her stress level, sleep habits, plus she has a huge interest in fitness. She is more willing to spend heavily on beauty and wellness than on fast fashion. Also, the modern day female consumer manages the household spend more often than ever before, and the women are running the household and budget checkbooks now. That's not how it was before, a long time ago, where women really were in charge of the budget and the checkbooks. And they also have more in different roles than ever before. So convenience and a streamlined convenience is more important than ever. And she trusts people like herself more than what she sees in corporate ads. So the modern day female consumer likes real before and after photos, not the airbrushed photos. So Amanda Wright goes on to say, we are different. We offer what no one else does. And she gave an example about, if you go into a department store today, you might see that there's no one working the cosmetic departments anymore. They have to grab somebody from the shoe department to open up the case to get people that whatever they're wanting to buy from the cosmetic counter.
Hmm.
So Amanda was making a big point also about you cannot find the level of customer service anywhere like what we offer. So then part of this, and it really gets into just thinking about making it easier for ourselves to talk to women who need encouragement about our business and about what we do, right? So she went into a whole big thing about how our business plan sort of ties to, but is way, I guess, better than the gig economy. And so she asked people, do we all know what the gig economy really means? And I thought this was interesting. It's a labor market built around short-term, on-demand work performed by low-commitment workers, independent contractors. So think about like Instacart, Uber drivers, DoorDash people, those are in the overall broad gig economy. 60% of them are women. The gig economy works for women these days because 9-to-5 jobs are too rigid. There's problems that lead to gaps in childcare. So the gig economy offers flexibility and autonomy, a better work-life balance, a quick way to start earning with low barrier to entry, but it lacks relationships, connection, sustainability of income, residual income, little or zero opportunity for growth. That's where we supersede, what the gig economy is all about. They might make $15 to $20 an hour. In 2023, there were 32 to 33 million women who entered the gig economy. That was 2023. So I wonder what that number is now. So her big question was, do we really mean to have the nerve to not tell women about our opportunity? Think about if there's mothers out there who are gigging at night, doing DoorDash or whatever, they have their babies in the backseat of their cars, and we don't even show them that there's such a better way of doing a part-time, work in the Mary Kay world, and the much better opportunity with income and things like that. In her speech, which I would hope everybody wants to hear it, when I could just send it to you in Messenger, she was amazing the way she laid this all out. I'm sorry that you're just getting my notes on it, but it just like causes me to lose a little fear about starting a conversation with somebody about the Mary Kay opportunity, but with like newer understanding and the right way. So yeah, I didn't recruit anybody during this $10 situation in March because I was so busy and so distracted. I wasn't trying to just rush through conversations with women about what Mary Kay could be for them, right? I want to be more personal. So that's sort of tied into what you mentioned earlier, Angela. So that just has got me thinking about my future conversations and wanting to look for the gig economy workers who might need to hear about Mary Kay, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, definitely send it to me on Messenger.
Yes, that was like an amazing topic. And so it's 15 minutes long, but the first 5 minutes aren't the rest, the training on all what I just talked about,
Mm-hmm.
or her speech on all of that.
Yeah. Well, that is interesting to know what people are looking for, and I think sometimes we're not sure because everything is so AI and we're like, because you said they don't really, and I was thinking when you were talking about how they want to see real pictures. So my daughter's going to be in a wedding and the bride had her go to this website to look. She said you can pick any dress from this website, but you just have to have this color. Well, the models are not like real. So, but on the website, they had real people in each dress, and that's what we looked at because we wanted to see what does it look like on a real person, not like the model. And so that's kind of what you're saying. They want real and authentic and not so I think that's really interesting. And I like the wellness plus confidence, not just looking pretty.
A new definition of beauty. Yep.
Yeah. So anything else you want to add from Career Conference? That
Um,
was great. That right there was really good. That was different than what we heard. I mean, not like in opposition. We just didn't get that particular.
yeah.
See yourself on screen. Like,
No, just to let you know who my other speakers were on day 2 in case somebody wants their recordings, because I recorded everybody on day 2.
Okay.
So there was Stephanie Venz, and I didn't really write for tonight. I didn't write what her topic was. We had Holly Sherrick, didn't know who she was.
Blonde. She's a blonde. Right? Long blonde hair.
Yes. Amanda Wright is the one I just spoke about. And for her years of being in the business, she looked a lot younger than me, or younger to me, I should say. I mean, she started when she was 19 and she's going into her 3rd decade of being in Mary Kay. She's already been in for 20 years, right?
Wow.
We had Laura Kattenbreaker. She's from around here, and I did not know her story as much as I've seen her and everything, because she's over there in Illinois with Susie Moeller and Debbie Albrecht and all those pink Cadillac driving. You know, I was very interested to hear her, what she said, and then particularly her background on Mary Kay. And then Shelley Palin, Palen. Never heard of her. She was a little bit dry, but still great stories and speeches. I loved each and every one of them. And so I'd have to write out what were they particularly talking about to see if anybody would want those recorded. Some of them were like 11 minutes, 12 minutes. So it should be able to go through if I forward the voice recording through Messenger, because the 15-minute one did.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to make the rights one. That's good. So perfect. Well, I appreciate you and Jody sharing what you learned. And we just kind of wanted to share because, when you go to stuff, Stephanie and Alexandra know when you go to things, you just get inspired and you hear things. So we just wanted to kind of share some of what we heard. And I did feel inspired for all of us to, do our best this last 90 days, whatever that is for you, whatever your particular goal is. I just encourage you to run it out and get the momentum going so that when we start the new seminar year, you're already going, you're not having to start over in a new year. Like spring is just a great time to get going. And we will have new products in May. We won't have new products in April, but I think most of y'all know, and I can't, if I've posted it, I don't remember if I did or did not, but I need to post it again. There's going to be some price changes in May. So there could be some value in getting, if there's certain things you love, getting those ordered in April at the lower price, because then you either have it for yourself at a lower price, or when you sell it in May, you'll make a little more money because you bought it at the lower price. So I'm going to write myself a note to post those price changes just so in case there's any of that you want to get in April. And I'll do some more research on the vision book. It might be something we bring out and do. And we'll see. I don't know what the company's going to offer the last, 90 days. And I'll find out tomorrow what that is. So we'll go over some of that next week. And then we'll be back in our our mindset book the second week of April. And I will also be posting the new calendar hopefully tomorrow, but I did post what was already happening this week. Tomorrow night is a skincare class with Janice Trude at 8 p.m. And Thursday is sharing with Julia Mundy Garner. So if you have anybody that wants to be on either one of those. So did you have something else, Dawn?
Just, PCP is due in April 17th,
Very-
I think.
Yes, very good. Yes. And I would say that would be a good one to do for sure because the prices are going to be different in the new book. And there's not just new foundations, there's several new things coming in May. And so it should be a great book. But if you have anyone that needs foundation, which I think that's one of my top selling products, I want that in my customers' hands so that they can see the new foundations. And I have not seen the new lookbook yet. I will get a buzz kit sometime in April. I don't have it yet, but I will get it, and then I'll be able to see kind of what we have coming. And I don't know, the last time we came out with new foundations, they gave us quite a few of them as directors, but I don't know if that's the plan or not. But hopefully there's one in my color so I can try it and see how it is. So any other thoughts, questions, concerns, anything? I'm glad you were all on. I appreciate you guys. You guys are all like pretty much the consistent girls. I don't know. I expected Debbie to be back on. She has been sick. But she thought she was going to be better. And so hopefully she'll be back soon. And I did hear from Terry, so maybe Terry will pop on again sometime soon. But we love as many people as we can get. So anyway, I guess that's all.
Congratulations to everyone who got new team members. Congratulations. Yeah. You and Jody, did you get a new team member?
Yes, Jody did. And her name is Melissa, and she lives about an hour from here, and we're excited for her, and we're going to do a business launch for her. We were just trying to figure out, it's hard to find a time for me and Jody and her to all get together in person, but we're trying to do that. And I got 2, and Alexandra got 1, and Cheryl got 1. I think that's right. So the night is not over. The night is not over. So who knows? Who knows if somebody else will get somebody else. But anyway, it's a bit, you guys, the month is going well. Our production is good, and that's exciting because we're trying to stay on target for car because we're in car qualifications again. And so we'll have finished the 3rd month tonight. We go 6 months, and we're also trying to stay on target for 300,000, which I did get to go across the stage and got a cute little bag because we are on target for 300,000. And then Dawn and Jody and I all got special little bags because I have at least three red jackets in our unit. And so, oh yeah, this is the cute little bag that Dawn and Jody and I got. So that was fun. So that was a couple of wins at Career Conference. And those are not just my wins. I mean, you guys are red. So that helps me. And then, another thing. Oh, yay. Okay. That's exciting, Alexandra. Very exciting. Okay. Well, hopefully she doesn't have any trouble. They've had some trouble, but I know that the company knows. And so hopefully if there is any trouble tonight, they'll give us an extra day or something. But definitely if she wants to sign tonight with the $10, definitely try to get that in there. If you have any questions, let me know.
Well, she's young.
Do what?
She's young. She's 20.
Oh, well then she might not have any trouble with this. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, well, that's exciting. Yay. Yay. New team members are always exciting and fun. We want everybody. So, all right. Anything else? And thanks for reminding about the PCP, Dawn. That is correct. I'll try to post about that too. Let me write myself a note here to remind people about PCP. Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. Thank you guys for all being on. And thanks, Jody and Dawn, for sharing. And I hope you all have the great rest of your evening. And Alexander, that you get a new recruit. That's very exciting. So, all right.
Fingers crossed.
Thank y'all. And I'll see you guys next week for sure.